Well, the plans for my 3-car garage paint YouTube studio have been put on hold, and I'm about to tell you. Don't overthink it, it's just paint. Oh, don't try that at home. Welcome back to another episode of Paint Society. Guys, this is the channel where the learning doesn't stop when the video ends. And well, I've got a 3-car garage right now that is pretty much useless for the Paint Society world. And here's why. And it all starts with the floor. Now, you guys might remember when we first bought the home, this was an original room that was here that was completely taken out. And well, you can see that the floor was poured concrete. And it's been ready for the flooring. The flooring is the first thing we're going to be doing, because from the flooring, then I can do the walls, and then I can do my toolboxes, and then eventually I can make way for the ceiling. And well, I was super happy because when I first saw this floor, there was absolutely no paint on it before. There was no epoxy. It was basically the raw cement the way it was when a house was built. So I contacted a company that I saw on Instagram, and this was a couple months ago, and they said they were a little bit busy. They gave me a date of December the 4th, which I was happy to oblige to, and that would give me enough time to completely clear out this whole entire garage. And I spent many days getting this completely cleared out. And when that date showed up for the company to come, I was met with a nice text message in the morning that they wouldn't be able to come out. Understandable, no problem. So I said, no problem. I'll look to see you on Tuesday, the following day. At this point, the whole garage is completely empty and everything is inside of the house. And guess what? It's Christmas time, and well, there's toolboxes around the Christmas tree. So at that point, Tuesday morning, another text message, not going to be able to make it, so sorry. Okay, things happen, I understand. So I said to him, well, when can you make it out? Don't give me a date of tomorrow or the next day. When is the date you're going to make it out? Monday, no problem. I'll wait another 5 or 6 days for you to come out. As long as you know you're going to be there on Monday. I completely understand that sometimes we get behind, but Monday is the day that we'll see you. Another week goes by, Monday morning comes around. Who wants to guess what happened? And that's right, I come out the door, I check my phone, I call, absolutely nothing. There's no one in sight, there's no return phone calls, and at this point, I'm pretty frustrated. Monday and Tuesday goes by, absolutely no one. And I really want to get started on this floor because this is the basis of how this whole entire project is going to work. When I'm taking a look at this floor, it's going to need some grinding. And a lot of people are going to say, why don't you do it yourself? And although that does sound great, I don't have the time, the knowledge, or even the proper tools to get that done. So what I'm left with now is pretty much a 3-car garage that is completely useless for my YouTube studio. And the whole plan started with getting the floor done, and then starting with our compressor, our air lines, our toolboxes, and even our marker board for our YouTube studio to really show you how you can do all of these projects here at your home. This is one of the main reasons why we demoed out that room and we purchased a home that had enough space to be able to bring you these awesome and cool videos. But there is a silver lining, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at this garage, just how it sits right now. I'll show you some of the things we've done and some of the work it's gonna need to really get a garage makeover. I've really looked around the internet and I've seen these beautiful garage makeovers. I've even seen black ceilings, which I love. I just don't know how well it will do in a studio setting for recording videos that we will be doing. So if you look at the floor, you can see it's very, very rigid. And the guys tell me that you're gonna need a diamond cut sander on the machines that you walk behind to really flatten this out. See, when the slab was poured, it was poured just a little bit higher, so they had to come by and completely grind it smooth. The guys told me to get it smooth, they'd have to be here all day, you know, smoothing out the concrete until it completely dried. And I was okay with it. So they came back the next day and they ground it out. but I still think if you were to paint this, well, you'd probably see exactly where it was. And when I did the flush cut, it wasn't 100% flush, so I even prepared and got a little concrete here, a little concrete mixture, and I smoothed it out the best I can. I finally decided that I'm going to be putting the toolboxes from this column all the way to that door. I'm going to run a big toolbox, and yeah, I think it's going to cover the window, but you know, we want to take advantage of all the space we have right in here. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, but if we look around the whole entire room, it's ready to go. The actual concrete is in very good condition, and I don't know if we would have cracks already, but basically there's no cracks in this form that's been laid. And they did run mesh through it and some rebar probably about every 12 inches throughout the whole entire pad. But basically at this point, it's just a waiting game. Now, if we look at the lighting, I'm gonna need some help on the lighting. This was put in very cheaply. You can see there's PVC, that's not even the code. So all of these lights will come out, and I want something very, very bright in here. Sometimes when we're recording, or most of the time, I like to keep the garage door closed, and we don't have the best lighting in here, and I want good lighting. I don't want the octagon lighting. I think they're a little expensive, and you can't do a lot with it as far as the room I have because of the garage doors and whatnot. But I do plan to keep the ceiling white. And yeah, a lot of guys are doing the black ceilings and the black garage door, which looks super stealth, and I love it. Like I said, my only concern is it a trend, and will it wear out after a while? But for now, it looks great, but I think I'm gonna keep the ceiling white. We'll go ahead and scrape the popcorn and get it all completely knocked down. Now, before we talk about the plans and how we recovered for the floor, let's go see kind of where all this stuff is. It had to go somewhere. And well, it's in the house, and I want to show you something we have planned for the future for this channel and this garage. It's basically how to set up your compressor at home. And that's pretty much how it is, completely bare, and there's nothing in here. There's nowhere to even sit except for the step right here. So go ahead inside and take a look at what we got. So as you can see, the inside of the house is filled with the garage stuff, which is not okay, especially during the holidays. But this is what we have here. It is a 3060 scroll compressor from Eastwood, and the specs on this are awesome. So it's only 30 gallons, but well, we're gonna test the specs out and see how well it works with a paint gun, because it has a very high CFM rating. So we should be able to run those DAs and those paint guns and whatnot. And hopefully it will run our dent fix equipment. This is a plastic welder, which we'll be seeing on the channel. So you can obviously see that a good amount of stuff is just sandwiched into this area. And one of the bathrooms we've been renovating, well, it's taken a hit from all of the materials and things that have been in the garage as well. So this is just delaying another project. You can see the trickle down effect of when someone does not follow through with their plans. Everything is just forced to wait. And well, even in the closet here, completely stacked with all the tools. We have all the, you can see paint guns in there, turbine hose, everything that you can think of that will be in the garage that should be in cabinets by now is just hanging out. But one thing I did do right is I actually held off on ordering those storage toolbox system. Now, they are pretty expensive, but I kind of wanted to have everything timed and planned accordingly, and I'm glad I didn't, because I'd have nowhere to put them, because they definitely would have arrived by now. Now, I'm actually in between two different types of storage units. I'm in between the Husky unit and the New Age unit. Now, I've looked at reviews, and if you have any sort of experience with either one, I would like you to recommend, what do you think would be the best for this actual wall here? I'm thinking with the particular storage systems they have the tall cabinet, and then they have a couple, maybe 2 or 3 different lower cabinets with your workspace, and then an additional tall cabinet and some along the wall. Now, I'm a big fan of drawers. I love drawers. I don't particularly like cabinets. I like something you can pull out and line your tools with. And I don't need anything fancy, but I just wanted something pretty nice. And that's where we actually plan to put it. Now, there will be an inflatable paint booth in here, which is in the works as well. That's something I haven't really told you guys about. Now, if you watch my video on my inflatable paint booth, you might have noticed when the power went out, well, it started to lose air and fall down on the vehicle. Well, lucky for us, we were able to save it. However, the same company is really diving into a new type of spray booth. It's made out of a very, very tough vinyl. It's very durable. And the cool thing about this spray booth is you can blow it up and it will stay up a good part of 5 days without decompressing. So it doesn't need that constant air going through it to keep it up. Now, this is a very heavy and a little bit more expensive paint booth. So it's going to be in 2 parts, which gives us the option to really use it in 2 ways. And basically that spray booth is custom made. Now, unfortunately, we have 8-inch high ceilings with the garage door. So it's gonna be a little bit low on that end. But as far as our width, we were able to go about 14 feet, and our length, we went around a good 21 to 22 feet to allow it to move around the paint booth. Now it's in sections. So what you'll be able to do is we can use it for just painting parts, one section, or if we want to join it together for a car, then we can zip them up. So that's in the works, and that's what's going to be coming to this garage as well. So what exactly happened with the floor and what are the plans? Well, fortunately, we went on Google and I called about 3 different companies. I actually called another company that was out here at one time and I asked them to come back and take a look at it and give me a final estimate. Well, he was a little bit high, and I'm not sure of the going rate, but he was around $8 or $9 for a square foot. We're roughly around 750 square feet here. So it was a little bit on the higher end. So that came out to around maybe $6 grand. And that was talking about the epoxy with the flakes in it, which I really liked and I was completely fine with, but a little bit on the higher end. So then I had another local company come out and they came out right away, which I loved. And they came out and they gave me a price for that same job for around $3,500, much lower, around $4 a square foot, with the border 6 inches going around. I then saw their work on Instagram, which I happen to love, and they actually do the epoxy flooring with the marble finish where they mix the colors together. And well, for a little bit more, we decided on that. So as of now, our plans are back on track, although we were ruined for about a good month and a half of waiting and all that. We're now ready to get established with our new flooring. So when they come in, they're gonna go ahead and grind everything completely down. That's something that I cannot do. And then they're gonna go with a light charcoal marble metallic finish, which is absolutely beautiful. Then I did say that could be a little bit slippery, so also keep that in mind. Now, if we look around the garage, you can see it's completely ready, and we've removed something as well. We put the water heater on the wall, and well, it was a little bit more work than we actually expected, but we now completely cleared up this area. And the best thing about it, this garage door that's never been up in about, I would say, 25 years, because it's never worked, now is a fully functioning garage door along with the other 2. So we're really, really happy about that. So here's where you get involved. I continue to need to know your advice. On the last video, you gave me a lot of great advice, and I took that advice and I started doing a lot of research. So I'm thinking about wall color. I think I'm gonna probably go with a lighter silver gray color. I don't want anything too dark, and I wanted to be able to really brighten up the room so when we record, you guys are able to see it. Also, what do you think about the ceiling? Do you think black is cool? Do you think it's gonna be in style for a while? Also, the inside of the garage doors, do you think they should stay white or should they stay black? So a lot of cool things we're thinking about. Also, the compressor. I'm thinking about maybe putting the compressor over here and plumbing it. I've also seen online they make kits, I believe it's called Rapid Air, that they're kits that will actually go together really quickly and give you the drop-offs for exactly where you need the water to come out. And also they make a kit so you can have lines coming down and use them wherever they want. So these are all cool things and all very exciting things that I'm excited to bring you. And make sure you leave all of your ideas down in the comments section so we can really go over it. And this can be our YouTube garage where we can really learn together. Guys, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. I'll see you guys on the next episode.